Hi, I'm Benny Jr. with Bartow Ford. You've heard me say a million times that we are the premier place to buy your new or pre-owned vehicle. What I don't get to say often enough is that Bartow Ford covers all your automotive needs. For example, our body shop. We have the largest body shop in Polk County and the most certified technicians. If your vehicle has damage and in need of repair, don't forget it's your vehicle and it's your choice. Tell your insurance company that you want to bring it to Bartow Ford, where we're different and we prove it.
Blog Talk Radio.
Now, what's that smell? Just like cornbread done too well. What you need, you know I got. The hands up, who wants to rock?
Well, I'm not Mark Radulich. It's been a while since I've actually had to start a podcast off. Yesterday, interesting night. I got to get together with the Radulich and Broadcasting people, talk about the election for a solid 3 hours. That was fun and exciting, and we got to drop wrestling references. So, yeah. And now you're on to our Wednesday night podcast. That's right, boys and girls. We are back here on the Metal Hammer of Doom podcast. I am your usual co-host, currently running host, former 411 media writer, guy with a beard, and host of Love Line with Coop, the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper. And my co-host this evening is our previous occasional third chair, now permanent third chair, and host of his own podcast, Source Material, Monday nights on the Radulich Broadcasting Network, Mr. Jesse Starcher. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, man? I mean, I know you was up late last night. Everything good in your neck of the woods, man?
Fucking Pat McCrory lost. That's what matters. Well, he lost by 5,000 votes, so now they got to hand count it. And as we saw in Pennsylvania, that's going to take a while.
Yes, it will. They'll get all the way up to 98%, and then we'll just send everybody home except for two old ladies, bad vision.
You know, I wonder if Microsoft must have been running the polls.
It crashed.
You know how when you
blue screen
you ever had Microsoft update? It gets 99% and literally sits there for 3 hours.
Yes. Drive me insane, man.
No, I did that with the guys. Insane. I was like, all right, guys, we're going to watch the new episode of the first episode of the new Kamen Rider. It's going to be great. My buddy got a new 55-inch 4K television, was going to watch it nice, pristine 720p on the big-ass television. No, his computer updated and sat there for 3 hours.
Oh, that reminds me, man. I sent you that picture, and you'd asked me, and I hadn't had a chance to get back with you. What that thing does to me, that streaming box that I got, okay? I can find all sorts. I mean, there's a ton of stuff listed there, but a lot of times what will happen is I'll go and click on it, and it'll say that there's no stream available. So the whole Kamen Rider stuff that I was looking at, I went in there and tried like 4 or 5 episodes. It would sit there and check all the sources, and then come back and say no stream available. So it's like teasing you. It's like, oh yeah, here's all 30 seasons of Kamen Rider. I'm like, dang, if I ever want to get caught up on something like that, here we go. But nope, there's nothing there. Same thing with Shin Godzilla. I've tried and tried the past few weeks because it's sitting right there. It says, "Hey, Shin Godzilla." You click on it, and it's like, and it'll sit there for like a few seconds and come back and say there's no stream available, and that can kiss my ass.
Is it the Kodi system? Is that what it is?
Yes. Yeah, using Kodi. It's a little Kodi box I got off Amazon.
Yeah, a friend of mine has been using that, and he just absolutely, like we always use it when we're can't find things on our usual streaming sites. It comes in handy. It's fucking shit. I think I told you what happened with Shin Godzilla, didn't I?
I don't know. I don't recall.
Go see it.
Oh,
My buddy
yes.
Nick and I. Yeah.
Oh, and it fucking sold out.
Yeah, it was fucking sold out.
Gosh.
Now, they turned around the Rurouni Kenshin live-action film Funimation did within 2 months. So I'm hoping they'll have Godzilla by maybe January or February, but who knows?
I don't know why I can't find it. You'd think that would be one of the most popular streams because you can't find that in the U.S. As far as I mean, just like you said, it's going to be a while before we see it here. So I figure somebody's got to have it, at least a cam. I mean, I watched Doctor Strange on Monday, a full 4 days before it came out. How can I not watch Shin Godzilla?
Don't tell me you watched it like bootleg camera or something.
Oh, dude, Mexicans had this camera, okay, and they because it was Spanish subtitles, so I'm assuming Mexico. I don't know how they got the film ahead of time. Maybe it was Spain. I have no idea, but I can tell you the credits were all in Spanish. But I mean, I still watched the movie. And I actually enjoyed the movie. I don't watch cams, dude. I can't stand it sometimes. But this was a Marvel movie that transcended cams, in my opinion. And it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
I'd watch Shin Godzilla like that. I know I would. If I could get Shin Godzilla, I think you would too. If you could watch a cam of Shin Godzilla right now, would you do it?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah,
good answer.
My stepdad once bought some DVDs from a guy at work and didn't realize they were illegal, cam-recorded bootlegs. And you couldn't really tell until it was Iron Man 2 and Kick-Ass is what we got. In Iron Man 2, we were watching it. I brought it to my dad's house. We were watching it. And then I kind of looked at him is that a little blurry? He goes, yeah, son, George bought a bootleg. I was like, no shit. And then I told him, then my mom was irate. She's like, you're going to get fucking arrested for buying that shit. I'm like,
yeah.
It's not illegal to, I'm like, I don't think it's illegal to buy. It's illegal to own, right? I mean, illegal to sell.
Illegal to sell. I don't think you get in any trouble for owning them, as far as I understand. It's selling them that really gets you in some trouble. There you go.
Yeah. So if you're ever looking to sell some stuff online that's illegal bootlegs, don't do that. I've bought my share of bootlegs, anime bootlegs. They've been getting really good at it too. Some of the Bandai and Discotech releases from 2011 for anime, a lot of bootleg. Oh yeah, you could tell when something's a bootleg when you see fucking 15 copies of them at a time, and it's out of print.
Yeah, somebody's doing some copying.
And that shit goes for a really high price too. Every time, it's $50 because I've tried to buy a few myself. I'm like, if I can get it for $10, okay. Yeah, I don't get it for $10.
Wow.
Oh yeah, dude,
that's really surprising.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes you'll get schmucks like me. You'll be like, oh, that looks like a price. And when it gets to you, you're like, wait a minute, this isn't the full box. This is one disc with the box.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I own that's straight up bootlegs from hell, all right? A friend of mine actually gave it to me as a gift. Golden Age Dave. He's been on the Source Material podcast before. His wife is she's Chinese, and they went back. They went and visited her family over in China, and I mean, I'm sure you know this, but I mean, for any listeners out there that don't know this, I mean, this stuff is being just sold along the streets with no problem whatsoever. They're not going to get hassled. So my buddy Dave brings me back it's the complete series of X-Files, okay, on 4 discs. and it's got all it's got and it's even in. I don't know if you've ever seen the real. I'm talking like there wasn't even a DVD case, dude.
Man.
It wasn't even a DVD case. It was like a laminated like fold over pieces of fold over like DVD case insert. So it was just like it's just paper pretty much, and a little pocket on the inside, and there's 4 DVD-Rs. I mean, let's just call them what they are. They're DVD-Rs with nothing but like really shitty quality MP3 or MP4s on them. So you could just buy the complete series right there. And granted, they put a nice little bit into the packaging. I mean, I wouldn't expect that much in the packaging, but anyway, I still have it. It's laying over here in the basement somewhere.
Dude, I bought Kamen Rider W. First time ever going on eBay. Bought a bootleg of it. Didn't know it was a bootleg, and I wasn't the only one bidding. I was like one of fucking a few of them. I bought it for $20. Thought I was getting a good steal. Then I got the DVD, and I'm like, bidding all 49 episodes and 2 DVDs is really impressive. And then I looked at the quality, and I was like, ooh,
yeah,
this is rough.
Yeah, this is dialed back just a little bit.
I still got it too. Like, I don't know what's the point in getting rid of it at this point, but yeah.
It's a collector's item. It's got sentimental value.
That's what it is. It's because the Japanese DVD market's so fucking ridiculous. Their media market is fucking highway robbery. $30 for a CD, $40 to deliver pizza. Yeah,
that's crazy.
They need the good thing. Right, just nuts. Anywho, speaking of things that are nuts, we originally were going to review Sorceress by Opeth. I listened to a few songs and went, So we decided to change things up. Instead, what we're going to be reviewing tonight is the new album by Darkthrone, released just a few months, I think last month. It is titled Arctic Thunder. Yeah. I kind of pulled a fast one on him because Mark was like, God, I hated this album. I was like, well, Mark, we could switch it up. He's like, whatever.
It's much more metal. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we're going to be reviewing Opeth at any time. We're substituting this for that, and that's perfectly fine with me. Arctic Thunder is way more metal than what we got with Sorceress. Yeah,
with Sorceress, I was on board for it. I liked some of what I heard, but at the same time, I kind of shrugged my shoulders in a bit. Just kind of shrugged my shoulders and was like, well, I mean, yeah, it's metal, but I mean, it's a metal band, or it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what
really
their early years were like, but man, it's that album from what before we did the changeover. From what I got through it, I mean, it was laid back, very laid back.
Their original stuff was kind of a progressive death metal. Not really progressive, just like a melodic death. Really heavy stuff. I love Mike Ackerfeld's growls. I'm really disappointed he doesn't do them anymore. Well,
I'll have to maybe seek some of that out.
He has no interest in like any death metal anymore. As you can tell, he's pretty much convinced that they're going to be like the fucking resurrection of the 70s rock scene. So yeah, decided to switch it up a little. I really wanted to review the new Darkthrone. Their last album, The Underground Resistance, I actually own that album because I was supposed to review it for 411. Never actually formally reviewed it because I'm a horrible jackass. So instead, I just think, yeah, I was that guy, like, sure, I'll review it, and then I just never reviewed it because I even requested a physical copy. Oops. I was like, I feel kind of bad about this. Just not bad enough to do anything about it.
Yeah, let's just let this one slide.
Yeah. I actually got an email from one of the PR people asking me if I wanted to do one thing, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm kind of out of the game. He's like, oh, shit, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, I'm in school. I've been in school for a while, dude. But I told him I'd come back sooner or later because I miss fucking writing, even though I'm really lazy. But yeah, the Underground Resistance, it took Darkthrone's more classic black metal sound, kind of continued what they've been doing since the 2000s, which is add a lot of rock and roll and punk in there. And I feel like this album here, Arctic Thunder, is a continuation of the sound they've been doing. I assume you have no idea who Darkthrone are except for this album.
You are absolutely correct, sir. This is the first time I've ever listened to them.
This is definitely where you should come in because, yeah, if you listen to any of their early stuff, what was their Soulside Journey was a really good death metal album, but beyond that, Blaze in the Northern Sky, Transylvanian Hunger, classics of the black metal genre, but not the most accessible if you don't like black metal.
These dudes have been around for a while, right?
Oh, yeah. They've been around since, I would say early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. They are so new. They're so old that their number in Metal Archives is 146. Yeah, been around since 87.
Wow.
Yeah, Soulside Journey was released in 91.
They have had some time to, like, really hone their sound. So this is different. This album is different from usually what we hear from these guys.
I'm not gonna say this album per se. What they've been doing is really
okay.
Yeah, since about, let me look at the albums here. Since I would say about 2006 or so, they changed to a much more of a kind of mixing heavy metal and speed metal in with their black metal.
Okay.
Because they had a fucking Iron Maiden / Motorhead-esque release schedule in the 90s. They had an album in 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, and 2 albums in 96.
Wow, that's getting it done, man. 2 albums in 96, 2 albums in a year?
And then an album every year from 91 to 96. And then finally they went like 91, 01, 03, 04. And then they do it again 06, 07, 08.
You'd think that'd wear you out.
Well, looking at their scores here, I'm not I've listened to a lot of their older albums and like these few new ones, but their middle stuff's a little hazy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just judging from what we're judging from the scores here in Metal Archives. There's some diminishing returns in some ways. You can definitely see kind of where they tire out in certain places and then kind of renew themselves.
I'm trying to find the band. You know how Wikipedia will sometimes have that band, the members of the band, and they'll kind of lay it out for you as albums or as years go by. They don't have that one here. At least I'm not seeing it.
Well, you've got Fenriz, who has been their drummer and vocalist and bassist. He's been their drummer since 87, bass and guitar since 93. Nocturno Culto has been their vocalist and guitarist since 88, and a bassist since 92.
Oh, wow! So these guys have.
They've had one guy as their bassist named Dag Nielsen. I recognize that name. And then 2 other guys that were holdovers from when they were a band called Black Death in 86, named Zephyrus and Anders Risbegert. But, that's about it. Once they reach 93, it's just been the 2 of them.
So we're only listening to 2 people?
Yep.
In this album?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
As far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been a 2-person group, and when you look at their output, I mean, after A Blaze in the Northern Sky, which is their second album, it's been the 2 of them since then.
Oh man, well I can't wait to. Now that I know that, remember what album were we going to do back in the summer that we we ended up having to nix some, and it was a 2-person group.
Witherscape.
And I really enjoyed that album, by the way. I kind of wish we had the chance to talk about it, but I remember, finding out that was only 2 people. And I was like, what the shit are you talking about? No way. So now I'm almost in the same spot here with these guys. I can't wait to listen. I know that when I listen to this album, of course we'll get into it here, but I noticed that it sounded fairly basic and almost like it was mixed from the 80s.
I always claim that it's got that trash can mix that has the black.
Yes.
When you listen to a lot of early black metal, what they're doing with this here is actually a retro sound.
Okay.
A lot of your early 90s black metal, Mayhem, Burzum, Immortal, Darkthrone, had really minimalist production. What I really feel like that does is it creates an even more hostile atmosphere. Wouldn't you say? Maybe not hostile, desolate. It's very heavy on the not tenor, not the bass, the other thing. Is it a tenor? No. Fuck. It's low on the bass. Let's put it like that. It's not very heavy on the bass.
High on the treble?
It's got a very treble. Thank you, sir. High on the treble. Very desolate, distant sound. Part of it was just because of most of these guys were poor white kids from Scandinavia who just hated religion and wanted to burn things. Well, some of them were. What was that?
I was going to say they're usually pissed off about something up there. Wanting to either burn something or murder people, something like that.
Well, if you're Varg or Varg it's both. Yeah. But yeah, this album here, I really feel like, especially if you look at their the album cover for this, very much it's a throwback to a lot of the old black metal. A lot of your older black metal bands have just pictures of the forest. That's why when you see the joke of black metal band gets lost in the forest. I don't know if you've ever seen that one before.
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's usually where that comes from. Though, did you see about a few weeks ago, a couple doing wedding photos ran into a black metal band?
I don't know if you shared that or if I saw somebody else that shared it on Facebook, but yes, I did see that, which is just, was it a true story? Because I was like,
yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh, man, that's classic. Because they hopped them in there and took photos with them, which was so cool.
Yeah, they let them kind of join in, and it looked just kind of goofy. They sent them a copy of their demo and everything.
That's awesome.
I love it. I think that's really cool.
I'm gonna find something here. My sister sent me, she showed me something on Facebook a few days back about, speaking of forests and metal bands. She's like, have you ever seen like a grouping of metal band names? And I said, well, what do you mean? So she pulls up this picture of, like, there has to be like 20 or 30 band logos of metal bands. And they all look nothing but like a bunch of sticks. Just nothing but sticks. So I'm going to find this photo. I'll send it to you. But anyway, speaking of the woods and metal bands, her story about the logos looking like sticks, it seriously does, dude. It looks like just a big old pile of twigs. No more metal than that, huh?
Oh yeah, that's why I think the Metal Sucks has an unreadable band metal logo or metal band logo of the week.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh goodness.
All right, well, while you look for that, let's go ahead and break into this album. We're already halfway in, half hour in.
Half hour?
Yeah, dude, it's almost 10.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, fortunately, this is not a really long album, but it's pretty good. All right. So here it is. the first track off of Arctic Thunder. It is titled Tundra Leech.
Tundra Leech.
That's why I love having you on the soundboard, because you like dramatically let the songs fade in and out.
I'm
and
good
it
for
really
something
works
around
for
here.
this style of music. Oh yeah,
Indeed.
Yeah, it really works for this style of music, I feel. So first song by Darkthrone you've ever heard. What do you think?
Yes. Now, when we were discussing about, earlier, because one of the first comments you made was like, you wouldn't think that I would like these guys, which a lot of that I assume was based upon your knowledge of the vocals, how I kind of like my vocals in music and metal. So, right off the bat, hitting play, I'm like, yep, that is correct, Robert Cooper. These are vocals that I am not a fan of. And so, of course, my immediate reaction was like, okay, well, I'm definitely going to listen to this album. This first song, though, was very, it felt, for me, it felt repetitive, and I wasn't digging it as as I would most of anything else that I would usually listen to. So I didn't hate it. It wasn't something that I was liking. Can you tell me? I mean, like, I assume that his vocals have been the same throughout what you've heard before, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's, how would you characterize his vocals? Just typical black metal vocals, or is there something different to the way that he sings, or?
I would say there's been a slight change. I mean, their first album was actually a death metal album, and it's a wonderful, wonderful album. Soulside Journey, really good. it's the best album.
Okay.
Sorry,
Best album.
It is the best album. It makes metal great again. I don't know. This joke just feel empty now that he's actually the president. Less mocking and more like, oh, right.
More like tribute. This is a tribute.
This is not the best meme on the internet. It's merely a tribute. Oh God, that's good. So a lot of he retains a lot of the kind of growl that he. I think that's Nocturna Culto. Yeah, he retains a lot of the growl that he had with his black metal days. The fact that they went more of a punk route in some of their songs, I feel like it's gotten a little more gravelly over the years. But I'm thinking that might be a sort of an age thing. If you heard their last album, they had some singing in there. Yeah, it's a little different.
Well, how about you on this first song? I mean, was this the first time you listened to this album after you suggested it today?
No. I'd listened to it in the background on the forklift at work. This is like I've listened to this album like 4 times a day because it's a pretty short album all in all. I mean, It's 39 minutes, but it goes by really quick. No, I'd heard Tundra Leech, and I'd played it a few times at work before remembering that Darkthrone had a new album, and I decided to blast it a few times. It works really well with background music. It works really good as foreground music. I feel like that's a good thing about a lot of Darkthrone's work is that it works really well no matter what situation you're in. If you're just looking for kind of a white noise to be on in the background, the style that this album has in terms of production really works for that because it's so high up in the register in terms of kind of the soundscape. There's not a whole lot of bass. It's a lot of guitar.
Yeah.
And it sort of has it's a real distant sounding guitar too. So it really works for that. This song, I really like this song. I like that it's got the different sort of in the middle. It kind of hits that more of a slow sound. Oh, God, there's something going around here, I swear.
Bless you.
Yeah, well, no, I was just coughing. Yeah, earlier, I don't feel so good.
I take it back.
Yeah, well, I know, I need some blessings in my life. But I was telling my mom, I was like, man, I was like, I'm stressed. She goes, what do you have stressed about? I'm like, you fucking live at home. I'm like, well, I'm just talking about the election. She goes, whatever. You don't got fucking shit to worry about. I'm like, thanks, Mom. You're always so supportive.
Nothing but sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, well, it was funny because, I was up with Radulich and Winfrey doing political and analyzing politics all night. So when she woke me up, I get up around 5 or so, feed the cats, medicate some cats, whatever, put all of her shit in the car, just help her get out the door. I'm just sitting there dropping like, yeah, man, did you know she lost Wisconsin? She lost Wisconsin. First time she lost, that's been lost to the Republicans since '84. And I'm just sitting there dropping knowledge, and she's like, I just can't believe what's going on right now. I'm like, isn't it great?
She's like, where is my son, and what have you done with him?
Well, no, she was like, where is my America, and what have you done with him?
Oh, she was that upset, huh? Wow.
Oh, she was. I mean, my parents woke up to that.
Oh,
like,
well,
they went to bed thinking, like, yeah, I mean, when you don't expect the guy to win and you don't really like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to stay away from social media. Social media has been really toxic the past day.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's either people bragging, people bitching, or people gloating because they're a third-party candidate and there's no blood on their hands.
That's me. I have no blood on my hands. None whatsoever. Give me the bumper sticker that says I voted for neither. Damn it.
I love this. Well, there's some of these album bands are not that hard to read. Gorgoroth, you could read that. Merciful Fate, yeah.
We're looking at the picture? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm looking at it. I love they included Horna because that's a really cool album. That's a really cool band logo. There's some real cool ones. Between that and like Mayhem and Belphegor, I'm not much for like the bleedy, scratchy writing.
What the hell
Like,
is that
there's-
one above Merciful Fate?
It tells us. Is it Inquisition?
Oh, is that what it is? Hold on, I'm gonna have to click now because
Oh, no,
Moonspell.
that's Moonspell, dude. I love Moonspell.
And
the
then
funny thing
right-
about
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Moonspell. Actually, that was I think only their logo for 1 or 2 albums. They actually changed to be more of a just kind of a goth rock band.
And Leviathan, there is no way I would make that out in their logo at all. Do you see that by chance? Leviathan is like right below the little crescent moon on the bottom. Looks
yeah,
like
I see it. I see the L-E. I see V. I can see the letters.
I assume the V is in the middle, or is it separated?
No, V is under. Like if you look on the left, it almost looks like a box is made on the left. You see what I'm talking? Yeah, the
Yep.
V is like in that break in the box.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dude,
and
that's a rough one. That's straight up like, that's a pile of twigs.
They could have thrown Throssenblatt's first logo in there. That'd have been fun. But yeah, Moonspell, their first albums were black metal, and they were fucking wonderful. And then they switched to a gothic metal sound, which is good. It's just not their original sound. You know, like you ever like found a band and you really love that sound, and they just were like, no thanks. they just changed it.
Wow.
Or actually, they didn't throw Catatonia's original logo either. Catatonia's original logo was pretty cool too, because they were a death metal band.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know you listened to that one song that I posted, Old Heart Falls, which love that. That album is like one of my favorites this year, bar none.
Yes.
Yes. It's so good. But their original album logo was Catatonia written kind of a fanciful letter with a big pentagram in the middle of it and like little fanciful devil tails.
Well, let me ask a question. Actually, no. I'll wait. I want to hold off on this question because I want something to after we talk about the next song. But I've got a question for you, Metal Coop, and I don't know if it's ever been addressed on here. I've been listening for a while, so we'll find out if this is something you've talked about before. So if you wanna go to the next song, we're more than welcome to.
It's track 2 off of Arctic Thunder. It's titled Burial Bliss. All right. So Burial Bliss. I think it was a really nice. I think it was kind of a nice mix of, again, that black metal sound. I feel like it introduced some other elements to the music. What do you think?
Yeah, there's some punk in that. I mean, did you feel like there was a little bit of punk mixed in with that? At least that's what it kind of stood out to me. Something weird about how when I go into an album like this and I have a hard time enjoying it, I really dive deep into my own head trying to figure out, okay, if you don't like this, why don't you like it? So the only thing that I could think of as for this song that I think I may have a hard time trying to consume is we've got the band playing in the background, and it's pretty fast. I mean, it's pretty fast, but the way that he sings this song it's almost like it's a slow song on his end, but it's, you got the stuff going fast in the background. He kind of, slows his cadence, I guess is probably the best way that I could say it. And it feels like it mismatches. And maybe that's why, because you got that, you've got that difference in the speed of way he's singing and the way the band's playing. Maybe that's why I have that bit of aversion from it, or aversion to it. Now, do you have I don't know if you're paying attention to the lyrics. I know I'm trying to, but I can tell you dark lyrics is not worth a shit for this album. So I don't know if you've got them in front of you. Is there anything lyrically that is standing out to you in either this song or the first song that you liked?
I was trying to look through the first song because I get the lyrics for that, but I wasn't really finding as much, just because I've not really looked much. There were basically 4 stanzas of lyrics. That's about it. Yeah, there wasn't much. But, what?
Well, you mentioned how this is background music, and that I can identify with today. Because when I was listening to it, usually I listen to albums while I'm working, okay? And if there's an album where I feel I need to pay some, or the lyrics are something that grabs me, I can't work and listen to that album if it's new. If it's old, or if it's something I've listened to quite a bit, I can easily work and listen to it at the same time. But if it's a brand new album I've never heard and I'm paying attention to the lyrics, and it's something that grabs me, then it's hard for me to concentrate on doing. It's like walking and chewing gum or something for me. I'm going to fuck it up at some point. So I didn't have that problem with this album. So I think your description of it being, kind of like white noise, it's apt. I think it fits. But Burial Bliss, I wasn't too high on either here. As we'll see as we go on, later in the album, I start to become a little bit of a fan for some of this stuff. But unfortunately, these first few songs, not my favorite. So Burial Bliss kind of falls on that back end for me on this album.
I personally really like this song. I've really put my finger on all the reasons, to be honest. This is very much just a Darkthrone song, and I feel like it works. Yeah. So, what were you looking to ask in our last track?
Yeah. Okay. For you, Robert Cooper. Now, you are the Metal Coop. Have you ever tried to be in a band in any way?
Yeah. In high school, I did one jam session with 2 guys. One played drums, one played guitars, and I just screamed a whole lot.
Seriously, you were vocals?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I could do that all day. Well,
awesome.
I finally found what range I could sit in, because the first I once did it at a friend's birthday party, and the fun thing was I was doing that thing to where, like, you could do it, but it just kills your vocal cords if you're not in the right range.
Mhm.
So that happened, and I couldn't talk the next morning. Which, you know me well enough to know that is
it could be a problem.
That is torture. It was a bit of a problem. But yeah, I tried that one time. I got to talk to some people in community college, like, hey man, we should do a band. But really, here in Bumfuck, North Carolina, no real there's just not really much of a metal scene. Like, there's one in Charlotte, and a buddy of mine has participated in it in some ways, fashions. Personally, I just kind of I kind of chuckled at it.
Oh yeah.
Because I was I love the guy to death. My buddy Nick. He was in the band.
Hey, we need to have him on the show sometime.
We do, yeah. But he was in the band Avalon Steel. They
I remember you talking about them.
Yeah. They pretty much acted like they were going to break up, but then just kind of kicked him to the curb instead.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, he's been real bitter about it. And I was like, well, dude, I'll be honest. It's I told him months, like a year ago, and he's like, yeah, I asked him if I could be on the social media, and they're like, well, we don't want too many people on it at once. I'm like, no, come on, dude, that's obvious. They don't.
Yeah.
They do not. Yeah, they didn't really care about his input. They were a bunch of like stuck-up hipster fags, anyways.
Fuck
like they were the sort of people that are like, oh, that's not real Van Halen without Michael Anthony.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was. I'm sorry. I mixed it up. They didn't care that Van Halen didn't have Michael Anthony, but they were all butthurt that Bill Ward wasn't in Black Sabbath.
Okay.
It's like, they're those types. Like, they hate everything new. They hate a lot of things that are old. Like, just kind of the people that think that they're the cool. Like, get a history degree and then work in a shoe shop. Yeah.
That sounds awful personal.
Well, I mean, no, that is actually what one of them did, and I was like,
that's kind of what I figured.
Yeah, that is, I know, it's oddly specific for an
oddly
insult.
specific.
Yeah, but I went to one of their shows. I think they did like a show a while ago, and their singer, I like the guy. He's one of those people that's really people gravitate toward him because he's real charismatic and seems like a funny guy, but kind of up his own ass.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were supposed to go tour in Florida. He's like, all right, guys, I got us a spot. We're going to have to do this, this, and this. And then he told the rest of the band, oh, I've already booked out the tent that we were going to share with these other bands because they wanted to be there. So y'all going to find somewhere else to sleep. So the rest of the band said, well, that didn't work out anyways. It's because it's funny, they only did a show a month. You're not going to get anywhere doing a show a month.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about touring or getting your name out there, but I mean, once a month, yeah, it's going to be, I mean, you've got to be, I would imagine you have to be in the public eye at least, I mean, try it 2 or 3 times a week, maybe. We went up there to that, when I went to go see Scar Symmetry, and I think those guys, the guys that were opening up there, I just open up for just about anybody that plays at that freaking bar. So I guess your best bet, number one, is to try and find a bar that's real close by, and then just play there anytime you can. And then that way you get kind of a bit of a foothold, and maybe some other fans that kind of get an eye on you. But I don't know, man. That's messed up. It's Avalon Steel.
Yeah, I don't really care much. I mean, the band, I'm like, oh well, whatever. Good luck to them. Because unfortunately, their main concert venue choice got closed. Which that's another thing. If you play the same fucking concert venue over and over, that's stagnant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. System of a Down's gonna release a new album in 2017.
Yeah,
Somewhere
been popping up in my feed.
Yeah, 14-year-old me is going crazy right now.
Oh, gold soda.
All right. Yeah. Now we're through in 2 songs. Look at us.
Hey.
And we haven't even brought up the library.
Oh, we need to save that for like our mid piece.
I think we should save it for the end in case the blog talk hits us again.
Yeah. Yes,
all
indeed.
Right. All right, moving along. Track 3 off of Arctic Thunder is titled Boreal Fiends. Here it is. You know, that really sounds like a cold wind. Like as it's fading out.
Yeah. Dude, these guys, speaking of cold wind, I mean, their songs, and at least the song titles, they really do pay tribute to where they're from. I mean, a Tundra Leech. I know what the Tundra is. It's obviously I'm a football fan, and I know about the Green Bay Packers and the frozen tundra. It's cold. It just it emanates a cold and snowy climate, in my opinion. Boreal, which hopped on the old Wikipedia or Google machine, and Boreal stands for northern. the title of this album, Arctic Thunder, which now all of a sudden I've got a question in my mind as to whether they get storms up there in the Arctic. As a matter of fact, I know that every once in a while we'll get some snowstorms down here that have thunder in them, but I'm curious if they get a lot of snowstorms where they live that actually produce lightning and thunder. There you go.
Somewhere Stephen Colbert is absolutely elated at the thought of anybody just mentioning thunder snow.
Thunder snow. Oh, man. I remember watching, who was it, Jim Cantori on the Weather Channel, just absolutely flipping out when, it was not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when he was live and lightning flashed and thunder hit, and it was just snowing to beat all hell. And that's a rare thing. It's a very rare thing. I've only seen it happen maybe 2 or 3 times in my life when we've got thunder snow. Now, what did Colbert do?
I think he had just a segment on it.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, it doesn't surprise me because it was a big thing there. I can remember it was. I'm pretty sure it was probably when Cantori freaked out about it. That hit the internet and went viral. Weather.
Yeah, maybe it was just Cantori. I could have swore if Colbert had something on it. Oh well, no matter.
No matter.
No matter. So this song here, Boreal Fiends. Boreal, I had to Google this. Means north. It's a Latin or Greek word meaning northern.
Yes.
So I think it's talking about a lot of maybe ancient northern people talking about finding their shelter and their sparks and where to live and return the sun's energy. So they're kind of returning to the forest and lighting their fires and living as fiends of the north.
I would say this is probably one of the first songs off this album that I kind of dug because it slowed things down, kind of got that groove metal going on. I enjoyed that part of it. Again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I enjoy the vocals, but we just heard him right before he faded out. He does have a voice. At least I assume that's him singing. I actually kind of dug this song a little bit. It's passable in my opinion for sure for me.
Yeah, hey, that's a win.
That's a win, buddy. Darkthrone.
As Titus O'Neil once said, make it a win. Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. Titus O'Neil. Too bad, the rest of him wasn't very memorable. Jesus, I talk about him like he's dead.
Is he still on? Is he still on the network, or is he still wrestling?
Yeah. Oh, he's still on Raw. It's just kind of it's still extremely mediocre.
That's unfortunate.
I just never really got. I don't think he was honestly very good. Seems like a nice fellow, but just not a very good wrestler, and an absolutely horrible promo. Yeah, it was awful promo. But yeah, this where was I? Oh yes, the song here. I would say this gives allusions to 70s doom.
There you go.
I can
feel that like a Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You could hear some of that late 70s, early 80s worship in here. As you get further in the album, you could definitely hear some 80s metal coming through.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are fans. You could tell they're fans.
Yes.
All right, let's to track number 4. Which is I was going to make a political joke. That wouldn't be very nice.
But it would damn sure be relevant.
Well, I guess it's. I would say that's where our political climate is right now. Everybody's treating everybody like they are the title of this song here, track number 4, Inbred Vermin. All right, so inbred vermin. What'd you think?
Well, we obviously get a little bit heavier there. It definitely feels like a metal song. These, not my favorite track off the album, that's for sure. I was just going through, and as we were listening to the album, I headed over to. You ever read anything from the Angry Metal Guy?
Not often.
Okay.
Stuff.
Now, I'm looking at his. He does have an Arctic Thunder review up here, and I was just looking at how. So, I'll go ahead and read you his rating. He says he gives it a 2.5 out of 5, but it says I don't know what the hell DR stands for, but it says DR, and then his response to that is the fuck if I know. And the format reviewed was a goddamn stream. That's specifically what it's like. He lays that out for every album to give you the idea where he found the album and what he listened to. But I found it funny that he makes sure that it wasn't just a stream, Robert Cooper. It was a goddamn stream. But anyway, Angry Metal Guy. How can less be more? That's impossible. So yeah, that's my take on it. It's definitely a lot heavier. Inbred vermin. Coop, what do you got here, man?
I didn't really listen to a lot of the lyrics on this. I'm catching if I can find them.
Sure, they're not easy to find.
No, I mean this album's been out not even a month yet, and it's kind of out there. So
are these?
Yeah,
is this band? I mean, obscure, or I know they've been around for a while, but I just can't say that I've ever heard of these guys before. So that's not saying much for me, as everybody knows. But I mean, in your circles, are people coming up to you going Arctic? Are they coming up to you going saying Darkthrone, Darkthrone?
Not necessarily. They're not. They're kind of in an odd place because again, they're in black metal. They're huge. They're definitely not some underground band. They're a pretty big name in a lot of the, I guess, in the smaller circles. But they're not Testament or Exodus. Because Testament, Exodus, Overkill, those are bands that are kind of big in the small. Like, you know, they're not Metallica, but they're pretty big. Darkthrone's not that. Darkthrone, most black metal bands are fairly niche. So, I mean, they kind of are.
Why?
They kind of are who they are.
Why would you say that these guys have never really got the, I don't want to say the fan base, but I mean, that's probably about the best thing I could say. What would keep these guys from getting a fan base like Exodus or like Testament? What?
I mean, it's accessibility. Thrash metal is so much more accessible than even like a predominantly black metal band. Thrash metal is mostly clean vocals. It's got like the fast guitar solos. It's aggressive but not too aggressive. And a lot of large bands come from that scene. Black metal is very standoffish, very desolate. A lot of the bands are foreign. That's another big part of it. A lot of them are up in Norway and Sweden and all that. It's mostly, in my opinion, it's just because they don't play a very accessible genre of music, and the fact they've been playing it for a long time, I won't say it hurts them, but it does. A lot of people take older bands for granted. I know I do with like Motorhead and whatnot. Like you listen to some songs, you accept them, and you move on.
Okay. Well, what'd you think about this track?
I like the track. You could definitely hear some of the more rock, little tinges of rock that you get in there with the kind of the bridges and whatnot. Just kind of those fast building sections where there's no real vocals. But yeah, I like the song just fine. Guess now we should probably move on to track 5 since, damn, like I said, the podcast just keeps going and going and going.
Hop on the podcast train, not the Trump train.
It's the podcast train. All right, so here it is, track number 5, the title track for this album, Arctic Thunder. Arctic Thunder. What you think about that one?
That was a good one. I think this is where things start looking up for me, because I can remember sending you guys the message today saying that I like the back half of this album a lot more than I do the front half. And that song right there took me to a level where I didn't give a shit about the vocals, just because the guitar and all the stuff going on in the background had a great sound to it. It sounded like a song that it sounded more like the type of metal song that I would enjoy. So I think this, we're going to find out. I can't remember correctly, but this might be my favorite track off of the album. So the self-titled track is pretty good.
Yeah, I would say just look at these lyrics. This is just a Hail Mary. I'm wondering if this song's about nuclear war.
Ooh.
I mean, it's just
good
a thought.
one.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I can totally be wrong, because let me look at their lyrical themes. I don't know if they ever did nuclear war. It's sort of they've been more of an occult sort of thing, but
my God,
anti-religion.
Okay.
Well, anti-religion, Satan, occultism, rebellion. typical kid stuff, right?
Typical stuff that comes out of there. I think they teach that in schools in Norway.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just see it pierce these things together, bear mark of atomic strength, find these piercing ripples, defy wretched lands and awes. I don't know. It's a thought. But yeah, this was, I really like this song. The guitar work in it, again, it really feels like a good catchy rock song. The guitar work very much is reminiscent of rock and roll and traditional metal. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite songs on the album, if not my favorite.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So next we'll be off to track number 6. I would not ask anybody to do this with me, but track number 6 declares, "Follow me through the marshes." All right, so throw me through the marshes, would you?
I don't know if I can pick you up. You're a big dude.
Yeah, about 215 or so.
You better sell it. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, I will I will tap into my inner Kurt Hennig.
Oh, do it, please.
Or in
Be
fact, I will sell to you like I am Shawn Michaels and at SummerSlam 05.
All right. I like it.
That I would say that is the most pinball-tastic sell job I've ever seen.
He is, man. I need to go find a list, like top 10 sellers in wrestling, just to see, because I know Hennig would be up there, Michaels would be up there. Dolph Ziggler is going to make my list. Throw another one out there, Coop.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Yeah, he can sell.
Oh, who else is a good one? Ricky Morton.
Been a while since I've seen him.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't he the one that always got his ass whipped in the match? When he always faced him?
He's the blonde. He's the blonde-headed one,
yeah.
right? We had Ricky. Okay, yes. Top 10 sellers in wrestling. I know we've got a podcast to do on metal, but I'm just going to bring it up. We'll run it down real quick.
Whatever.
What do you?
Whatever seller. Whatever. Hmm?
I was going to say, what do you want to do here? We got whatculture.com from 2014. Oh, that's an old list.
I love What Culture.
Oh, here's one from, it says 10 biggest oversellers in wrestling. 2000s from February of 2016. Let me see. I'm just curious as to what the number one is on the list. Oh boy, we didn't even mention that one.
Who was it?
Ric Flair.
Well,
Ric Flair would probably. I mean, it's bogging me down here. Hold on. I can't be doing that. It'll screw up. Close the tab. Close it. There. For some reason, if I open up another tab in Firefox, it pretends to shit itself, and I can't hear anything that you guys that anybody's saying on the podcast. Anyway, Ric Flair. I heard you say something. What was your reaction?
Oh, I just forgot.
Oh, you forgot.
I was like, oh shit, Ric Flair. I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, that guy he could sell back in the day. Go ahead, man. I'll find us a list here, just of something, and I'll run them down 10-1 real quick here. But by the way, did we even talk about the song yet?
No.
Well, my quick analysis of that last song, I liked it. It's another palatable one in my opinion. Not as good as Arctic Thunder, but I enjoyed this one as well. I was looking, by the way, they recorded this album according to, where was I at here? I think I was on, I'm on Loudwire. They recorded this album at what they call the Bomb Shelter, which is their rehearsal space. Excuse me, it was recorded and self-produced there. Their rehearsal space between 1988 and 1990. So again, it's another fact that kind of supports what you were saying about how they, they go back for that trash can sound, making it sound as sparse as possible. So, yeah. I mean, when you go back to a place that you recorded an album back in 88 and 90, now I don't know if the place has been updated. I'm sure it has. I mean, shit, we're talking, dude, that's more than 25 years ago.
It's older than me.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I hear that. It's very clear in these songs. That was one of the first things I picked up was, wow, this sounds like it was recorded a while back. And I remember when I first listened to it and you suggested it, I was like, oh, he's picking an album from he's just picking an album out of his ass that he really likes. And, we've been trying to stick with a theme where it's been released at least recently. So I thought that's what you did. I thought you went back and picked some kind of album from like 96. And I go in there, I'm like, no, this fucking thing was released 2 weeks ago. So, interesting stuff, man.
Yeah, I like the song as well. I kind of agree with you. Not as good as Arctic Thunder, but hey, not many things are as good as Arctic Thunder. But I was wondering if you would call it like, if you had a big girl that was a fan of Darkthrone, would she have Arctic Thunder thighs?
Oh, she would straight up go to Dairy Queen, and that would be a blizzard that she would ask for. She would want the Arctic Thunder.
Oh, no.
I mean, I don't know what Dairy Queen's doing, but they're clearly missing out. I don't know if they've got Dairy Queen over there in Norway or not, but you talk about fucking cross-promotional opportunities.
Right. They're just missing out.
Amen.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to track number 7. Next to last, the penultimate track. Track number 7. Track number 7 is titled Deep Lake Trespass. All right. So, let me make sure I get this. Yes, Deep Lake Trespass. What do you think of the next to last track?
It was decent. And again, it was another one that I could listen to and not have to. The vocals didn't bother me as much. And if you listen to that, as I was listening, I was comparing it to what we've listened to earlier. There isn't, this guy's vocal range is non-existent other than what we heard earlier. I mean, he pretty much sounds like he is on his deathbed. Well, that's typical death metal, so I understand that. But the music that's being played along with his vocals is a lot of times the saving grace for a good bit of these songs. So Deep Lake Trespass, I didn't mind it. I thought it was decent. Again, it's supporting this back half of the album that I enjoy for some reason. I'm wondering if it takes me like the first 3 songs to kind of get into it. I don't know if that's possible, but, to kind of acclimate myself, and then I'm like, oh, okay, this ain't as bad as I thought it is. So maybe that's a good argument for the whole album in itself. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was okay.
No, good way to put it. It was largely the saving grace was the music. I really did like the music of this song. I like the vocals too, but I think I'm much more a fan of "Oh My Aching, Oh My Heart, What the Fuck's Going On," What did I eat?
What the hell are you talking about? Is that lyrics, or are you?
No, that's what I'm describing the vocals as.
Oh, that is perfect. That's perfect. Oh.
Yeah. So, what did you find for our list here?
Okay, here we go. What culture? Well, first off, we got a top 10, okay? And I want you to do your best right now, before we get to it, to guess the top 3, because this is, like I said, this is from 2016, biggest oversellers in wrestling. So it's oversellers. Now, we were talking about the best sellers earlier, but these are oversellers. So go ahead and do your best to guess the top 3, and we'll count them down, and then we'll see what we got.
Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
I just was kind of throwing that one in there. The oversellers. Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Shit, this is tough.
I
don't know. That's about all I got.
Top 3 oversellers. So you're saying you said Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan.
And
can't come up with a third one?
Shit. Who would I choose as the third man? Who's the third man?
Who's the third man? But whose side is he on?
Whose side is that third man on? Oversellers. That's tough.
Well, you're beating yourself up, and I don't think you need to be, because we've kind of already discussed some of them already. So I'm giving you a hint.
Oh, Mr. Perfect?
Okay. All right. So there's your top 3. Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Mr. Perfect. All right. Here we go. Number 10, CM Punk. I honestly don't think he is that big of an overseller, in my opinion. I don't recall any matches where I'm like, geez, that guy's took that bump like, I don't recall that ever going through my head. How about you?
Not really.
Okay. All right. So, CM Punk. Number 9. Now, this one I can kind of see. Rob Van Dam. Every fucking frog splash.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit it, and then he's like rolling on the ground for like 3 minutes, holding his stomach until finally he's like, oh, maybe I should pin him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Number 8. This guy never really had to sell, in my opinion. Mick Foley.
But, yeah, he just gets the shit whipped out of him.
I mean, I don't know. We're selling something and actually getting the shit kicked out of you is 2 different things. So, I don't know. All right, number 7, Ted DiBiase. And we're not talking junior. We're talking the $1 Million Man himself.
We're talking about the good one, right?
Yes, the good one. Got anything you want to add to that?
I've not watched a whole lot of Ted DiBiase.
All right. Okay. They mentioned that he was well known for, like, let me see what they said. I totally miss it now. Okay. He was also notable for perfecting a forward flip upon being punched in the stomach after trying to land a double axe handle from the middle turnbuckle. All right, there you go.
Oh, I've seen that before.
Yeah, you're seeing it now. All right, number 6, Terry Funk.
Oh, yeah, when he's doing that fucking blind swinging, yeah.
You got a Terry Funk impression in you by chance?
No, not really. I don't have much for
All right,
Terry.
that's fine. I'm not going to put you on the spot. Just asking there. All right. All right, number 5, and yes, this man has definitely oversold, in my opinion, in some matches. His name is The Rock.
Oh, yeah, when he took that stunner and then like did like 3 flips.
Some of the greatest stuff. All right, number 4. And this man made your top 3. Shawn Michaels. And Hogan at SummerSlam 2005 is the first sentence. So,
I mean, there you go. That is all you need.
Yes, sir. Number 3, name I mentioned, Dolph Ziggler. I mean, I could. There has been very few matches where I've watched him wrestle and said, okay, he is. I mean, some of the stuff that he does is just amazing. To try and sell something that just shouldn't. Nobody else would have sold it like that. All right, number 2, Ric Flair. And I absolutely 100% agree with that. How about you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And number 1, before we get to the final song on Darkthrone's Arctic Thunder, Mr. Perfect.
I guess one person's overselling is another person's great selling.
I mean, dude, there was a video that was, I don't know about you, but I'm friends with quite a few independent professional wrestlers. That's a word? Independent wrestlers, whatever, however you want to say it. Anyway, so every once in a while, stuff gets shared, and I see in my Facebook feed of some of the craziest stuff that Kurt Hennig would do. Like, get hit in the face, and then all of a sudden he's doing a flip from that. I mean, it's just a standing punch, and he's flipping. I'm like, man, tone it down. But he is Mr. Perfect. He is one of the greatest. So, what do you got to say, Coop?
I like it.
Yep. What do you got to say?
Yeah,
anything?
I think it's a pretty good list. Mostly, especially The Rock. Now that I think about it, yeah, The Rock tends to really oversell some shit.
There's some shit that's been oversold. I have seen him do.
I was talking to my buddy Nick, and I'm like, I realized that, like, once The Rock went back to Hollywood in 2003 and came back, he's been phoning it in a lot since.
You think so?
Like that time he called Coach Popcorn Fart.
And that ain't even funny. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. And
yeah,
I remember watching that episode and just going, or that episode of Raw. I think it was Raw. But yeah, calling him Popcorn Fart. Not good. Not good in my opinion anyway.
It kind of reminds me of some of the shit they've been making Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns say.
It's been a while since I even watched wrestling, dude. Seriously. And I got a 6-year-old kid that loves to watch wrestling. And you think I'd find it in my heart to sit down on a Monday night and go, hey, let's go ahead and watch this together, son. I'm more like, hey, it's time for bed, son.
I like SmackDown more, but they've got more wrestlers I care about, like AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler and The Miz had an awesome feud. Heath Slater and Rhino are a really fun tag team. Yeah, they've got a lot better writing too. SmackDown's been written like shit. Raw's been written.
Oh, Raw.
Yeah, Raw. Yeah, Raw's just
Yeah. At some point, I honestly believe at some point I fell out of the demographic. I really do. And that's I don't know where that comes from, dude, but that shit's real. So in about 10, 15 years, as much as you love wrestling right now, it's weird how that demographic sneaks up on you. I don't know if other shit takes precedent or what, but coming from the guy who still reads comics and talks about them every day or every week here on the network, You'd think that shit would have fell out of a demographic with me at some point. But sorry, Coop. I hope you don't mind doing the list there. That was fun.
It was. I enjoyed it.
All right.
And now we move on to our finale, which is oddly titled after Wyoming.
Yeah. I don't understand the title of this last track.
Like, I wonder if this is a cover?
Oh, it very well could be. I've been seeing that happen a lot on the end of metal albums this year that we've covered.
I find ones in the middle are just kind of odd.
Like?
Corey Hart's Sunglasses at Night, Arsis did that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Should you not?
Learn something new every day.
It's a fun cover. But, yep, I don't think it's a cover. So let's go ahead and finish out this album with the final track number 8, titled The Wyoming Distance. I don't know enough about Wyoming to make Wyoming jokes.
You've been trying this whole time just to come up with something. Well, let me just tell you real quick. I did a little search. I don't know if you went to Google as fast as I did, just trying to check and see if there was something about the Wyoming distance. But the first thing that came up in Google was something called the Wyoming Incident. All right. And shit titled like that deserves a click. Because I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of an incident happened in Wyoming? Have you ever heard of the Wyoming Incident?
No.
All right, well, are you ready to learn something? Here we go.
Sure.
The Wyoming Incident, or the Wyoming hijacking, is a lesser-known case of television broadcast hijacking. A hacker managed to interrupt broadcasts from a local programming channel believed to serve several smaller communities in the county of Niobrara, and aired his or own video. The video contained numerous clips of disembodied human heads showing various emotions and poses. The camera position changed often, usually every 10 to 15 seconds, and the video was often interrupted by a special presentation announcement. This clip was taken from one of those intervals, so they got a clip here that they're showing. The video is mostly locally well known and would probably not even be that popular if it were not for the effects it had on the few residents who watched it for an extended period of time. Complaints included vomiting, hallucinations, headaches, etc. While some believed it was paranormal, specialists have determined that the cause of these afflictions were frequencies played regularly throughout the broadcast. In this clip, the frequency being played is somewhere between 17 and 19 hertz. This range of frequency, when played for long periods of time, causes the eyes to subtly vibrate, sometimes inducing visual hallucinations. What a story. That's crazy, man. Now, the hacker had not been caught, and all attempts to trace the video have been proven futile. What do you think of that?
Interesting.
You now know, and guess what? Knowing is half the battle.
Oh, is it a fucking creepypasta? Oh no.
That's what I saw. What is that about? What's creepypasta?
Creepypasta are like creepy little stories that fucking middle schoolers, not even high schoolers, middle schoolers make up in their spare time that people pass around the internet as a hoax. Like, there's one called Squidward Suicide, where he just, the story was that the animators were feeling really froggy and bored, so they decided to make up an episode where Squidward kills himself.
Okay.
And so, so somebody like wrote that story, and then claimed that it was a real thing, and it was just creepypasta, which creepypasta is just kind of your darkly written internet hoax.
So this is fake?
That's what the internet's telling me.
Oh, man.
This
is right up my alley, dude. That's unfortunate. Well, see, now I learned something. Yeah, oh, dude, you could have had me. I'm on Snopes right now.
Yeah. Dang it, Bobby.
Damn it.
God dang it. I'm going to kick
awesome.
your ass. Dude, I
well,
thought you were talking about my Hank Hill impersonation. I have a really good Hank Hill.
No, it's good. It's good. Much respect.
I've been working on it for like 15 years at this point, since I was a kid.
Damn you, Internet.
What is Damn You Internet? Is that the sequel to the Damn You Hollywood podcast?
It could be. Showing up here Fridays when everyone loves the bad guys off. Damn you, Internet. Shall be. It's done pissed me off. I might as well start a podcast about it.
Damn you, Internet. It's about how 11,000 people voted for Harambe, which I still think is amazing. A lot of people are so mad, but I think it's great.
Oh, dude. Okay. Before we go and give our last final thoughts and all that good stuff, I know we got live time till 11:30, but so you saw my post about the political playlists. I assume.
Mm-hmm.
I think you. So you got a song or two that you would definitely use off the top of your head to summate this fucking election? Or not have to be the election. It could be the political climate at this time. You know how people are so upset.
Well, for this evening, all these riots Seek and Destroy.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, there's one just for the riots.
Yeah, I've heard that's...
The Fix is In by Entombed. There you go.
What was it?
The Fix is In.
The Fix is In. Don't know if I've heard that one.
Yeah, it's I think off Inferno maybe. It's one of their like late 90s, early 2000s albums. It was after they were good, and before they got good again, and then they got less good.
These are the Entombed AD guys. This is obviously before AD. This is just Entombed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm still so sad that I missed Entombed.
Well, Well, like I said, easy for me. It's Megadeth, and man, the one I chose was off the most recent album. The only reason I chose that one is because I was listening to our Spotify 2016 Metal Hammer of Doom playlist, which you can find, folks, if you're interested. Hashtag MHOD 2016 on Spotify. You can subscribe to that and listen to it, or you don't even have to subscribe. Just give it a listen. Everything that we've covered is on there. But anyway, I was going down through. I think I got it in chronological order, which reminds me, I got to take Opeth off of there. But, of course, the first album was, Megadeth's, and that don't speak to what the hell's going on sometimes. I'm telling you, some of the stuff that's come out off of their catalog is just pitch perfect for what the hell's going on nowadays. So,
it's funny. Dave Mustaine is hyper conservative now.
Yeah, and that's. I know you guys have said that he's clearly attempted to do a 180. You did a 360 on me. He did a 180, and I will quote fucking Last Action Hero as much as I can. I don't want to be at no fifth wheel. Or no, wait a second. Was that what it was? The fifth wheel? See, I can't even quote one of my favorite movies.
I was just mixing that up with Jingle All the Way for a second.
I think it's fifth wheel. I don't want to be a fifth wheel. It's third wheel, you moron. Okay. So, back to the album. I'm sorry. What do you think of this last song, Coop?
Hold on. About to walk
Okay.
outside. It's going to be cold as fuck. Oh, fuck me running. It's like 39 degrees up here.
That's cold.
Which I know. Okay, it's not too bad. Yeah. Oh, all right, there we go. Anywho, last song of this album. I really enjoyed it. It's nice. It was actually really short, 3.5 minutes total.
Yeah.
I think it was a really nice way to send the album off, personally.
Okay. Wyoming distance. I mean, I kind of am the opposite of that. I would have liked to have seen like maybe Throw Me Through the Marshes as the last song, but again, it is one of the last, or it's one of the shortest songs on the album. I wasn't a big fan of it, of the Wyoming distance, so can't really put much into it other than I don't think it. The previous three, I don't think it held a candle to.
I liked it, but I forgot that's what I left it on. I left it on NPR. Except the NPR that I left it on was the local Winston station. And once we hit 9 o'clock, they played smooth jazz until fucking 5 a.m.
Oh, nice.
Well, see, the Chapel Hill station played BBC Radio all night, and that's my shit.
Yeah, that'd be fun to listen to.
Oh, I love BBC Radio late at night.
Is it all like their radio dramas, or do they play?
No, BBC News.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it's news, but it's a different perspective. They cover a lot more global issues than I feel like that we do. Yeah, I can fucking talk NPR. Like, you think I can talk to the library forever? You see how long I can talk fucking NPR.
Dude, if you would have caught me about 10 years ago, I would have been right there with you. I used to listen to NPR every fucking day, man. Every day.
You had kids?
No, what changed was the commute. I didn't have, I went from driving pretty much an hour to an hour and a half to work every day to pretty much 10 minutes. And then after about 4 years ago, I had no commute. So the NPR was the shit, man. I'd listen to that on the way up and on the way back, usually in the evening, but every day, don't do it anymore.
Only time I won't listen to it's like when you get on the weekends past like 4 o'clock, then they're playing like they play like, I don't fucking know. bunch of stage plays and stuff, and I think that's interesting and all, and a bunch of bluegrass. But I'm like, no, thank you, not my jam.
Not my jam.
Not my jam. Now their quiz shows. Ask Me Another. Wait, don't tell me.
Wait, don't tell me.
Yeah, and Ask Me Another is their pop culture oriented one.
Mhm.
And I love that one. That one's a lot of fun. Like they have like word games, trivia, and all that stuff. And then Wait, don't tell me is just so much fun. I can't wait to see what they say about the election.
Oh man, 4 years, buddy. 4 glorious years right in front of us. Jeez. One of the other things that changed was I found podcasts. That was probably about 3 or 4 years ago too that I found podcasts, and I was like, well, talk radio is nice, but when I can listen to, of course I got like 5, 6 podcasts that I listen to about comics, or when I can listen to the Metal Hammer of Doom, or I can listen to Stuff You Should Know. I was like, well,
or Long Road to Ruin.
Long Road to Ruin. That's right.
Yeah, I used to listen to it every week, and now my mom's iPod that I jacked because I'm an asshole. I took my mom's iPod. She wasn't using it. But it's a 10-year-old iPod. The batteries on those things start to wear.
Oh wow!
I get like 3 hours of 1 to 3 hours of listening time on a charge. So
yeah,
that usually it's bad. So that'll go to like the thing that's really important with me in podcasts is how big is your podcast and how long is it? Because if I can get like for example, like if I can get a 35 mega, because I only have 150 megabytes available, because most of my mom's music is still on there because I didn't get rid of it because I'm not that big of a jackass. So if I can get 35 megabytes for 2 hours of content, I'm going to load up on that.
Oh, man. I cannot wait till you are ushered into the era of smartphones, man. Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm rolling around here with a 64 gig iPhone, which is, I've been paying out the ass. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that, I got this thing and it's fucking cost me a shit ton through the plan that I got through AT&T. But, dude, I have, seriously, the little red icon popped up there a few days back saying I had 70 podcasts to listen to. That's what's downloaded onto my fucking phone. And I'm like, fuck me. So I'm listening to everything at like probably 1.5 speed just to try and get through and caught up with a bunch of shit.
I can't even do that on mine, but I listen. There's some podcasts like Jim Cornette's podcast. I'm current on that. I'm current on the 2 NPR ones because I've got like 8 anime podcasts that I listen to.
Oh,
some
wow.
of them are weekly. One of them's 10 years old, but they only have about 200 episodes, and I'm like 120 episodes in. So like I listen to all the new stuff, but I'm still trudging through the backlog.
Well,
there's a ton of anime podcasts that are 10 plus years old. Not even kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I'm just getting into like some of the wrestling podcasts. Like I've started downloading Jericho's podcast. I need to listen to it, but damn, he releases so much.
Yeah, man, it is hard to get. Yeah, it's hard to get current, and especially in the wrestling world, it's fun to go back and listen to some of the interviews that these guys do, which is that keeps them what they. I would. The term is evergreen, so you don't want to put content out there that's dated. And so the interviews with superstars is great. That's why I know you guys was bagging on. I don't know if it was you. It might have been you. You and Mark was bagging on Piper's podcast, but I would go back and listen.
I just heard it was bad.
Yeah, maybe it was Ronnie, but anyway, I would go back and listen. Some of the interviews that he did was awesome to actually listen to him talk to Mick Foley and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, I totally identify with what you're saying. You got to go and find, like, I am in the middle of Back to the Future Minute, which have you heard of any of the Minute podcasts yet?
No.
Okay, so what they do is they take a movie and they analyze it minute by minute and do a podcast on each minute. All right, so a 15, 20-minute podcast in each minute of a movie. So these guys are in the process. They've done Back to the Future 1, and they just finished Back to the Future 2. That's why I have 70 podcasts on my phone, because I went back and was listening to the feed of these guys that they started back right at Back to the Future Day last year. So I'm trying to get caught up on all that, and everything else is backing up. Too much content. So when you upgrade, it's kind of nice you have these limits though, because trust me, it's just got to be a pain in the ass to try and find it or try and get it on there.
Yeah, one podcast I could definitely recommend that you might be interested in called Geek Nights. They got four podcasts a week. One of them's like anime and comics. Another one's tech and computers. Like a third day is like random day. They do almost like release at least 1 to 4 podcasts a week or so, but they do one on like everything. So like I've learned so much shit about computers. They've done talking about fucking boating one day. Like
nice.
There's 2 guys from New York that are they're real interesting fellas, and they they're a whole lot into computers and biking and all that. It's but they talk a ton about anime and video games sometimes. It's one of those like potpourri podcasts. Like, oh, what are we gonna listen to today? I don't know.
That's cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
they're definitely worth a listen. Yeah.
We'll come back. I can hear you're driving right now, so you must be on your way somewhere. So we'll get your final thoughts on the album. I'll go ahead and give mine first. As for my introduction to Darkthrone, what can I say? Again, the vocals are not my jam. They are something that I have to have some good music behind in order to get past. And luckily, there are a few bright spots on this album that definitely do that for me. So, would I recommend this to anybody? I'm going to say that I would recommend this to a select few of my friends that I know would enjoy this. As for the typical metal fan, my buddy that's listening to Hell Yeah, I'll probably not suggest this one to him. I don't think it's going to be anything that he would enjoy. However, you never know. But as for Darkthrone, I'll give it a thumbs up because I didn't hate it.
That's good. I like that. As for me, I was a fan of the album. I'd give it about 3.5 out of 5, about 7 out of 10. Not a perfect album, but it's definitely worth listening to. I think it's honestly worth re-listens because it's a good background noise album. It's a good foreground noise album. If you're a Darkthrone fan, you like it. If you're not, I wouldn't say it's inaccessible. It's just not really. It's not something that you're going to give to your Hell Yeah fan and turn them. It's one of those. Maybe it might be an intro to black metal album. Maybe like there's a few albums that I would throw to people, be like, hey, if you're interested in black metal, listen to this. Because it's a nice little bite of it. It's not too much, not too much flavor.
This isn't beginner black metal. This is kind of like between beginner and advanced, in my opinion. This is where I'd be like, okay, yeah, if you like it, if you can handle this stuff, here you go.
Because in terms of black metal, it's got for me, it's got aspects of it, but it's not. I feel like it's a lot more accessible than your traditional black metal. That's what I would consider more of a. But I mean, bands like Toxic Holocaust also kind of are a good intro because they're black thrash. They're a lot of fun. But yeah, so those are overall thoughts. What plugs you got? Because I don't have many. I don't remember. I'm not like Mark. I don't have the calendar.
I'll go ahead and we'll make it real brief tonight. Source Material, I do a podcast. It's called Source Material here on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. If you like comics, come on over sometime on a Monday. You can go back in the archive, catch anything, just like me and Coop were saying. You could probably catch up on all of the 90 episodes that I've got in the archive if you wish to do so. Yeah, buddy. And I can remember some of those beginning ones before I had a guest host, before Ronnie came and saved the day. They were bad. But regardless, they are out there for your enjoyment, just in case we talk about some of the great and not so great comic book story arcs there in the comic book genre. And sometimes we throw in a few BS episodes and just talk off the cuff about some of the fun stuff that's happening in the comics. Most recently just dropped the what was it that I dropped? It was me, Mark, Ronnie, and Josh talking about Doctor Strange the Oath in synergistic fashion, teaming up with the Patriarch, and Josh and Ronnie. We talked about a book called Doctor Strange the Oath that dropped this past Monday. This next upcoming week, I'm going to be airing an interview that I had with Benjamin J. Colon, good guy, does the title card for Long Road to Ruin. Also, he's come on to the source material to talk a lot of books, such as Maximum Carnage. And we also talked some Alan Moore stuff there not too long ago. Anyway, he was an exhibitor at New York Comic Con, so we're going to talk about that. Yeah, he's got some interesting stories. We're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about. I'm going to split this episode into three nice little mini bites, about 30 to 35 minutes apiece. So Monday will be his New York Comic Con experience, and then I think Thursday. I don't think they have a Long Road to Ruin on Thursday, so I'm dropping his story about his interaction with Stan Lee. He's got two cool stories of encounters he had with Stan Lee. I'm going to drop that Thursday, and then Friday is going to be our discussion, me and Benjamin's discussion about the passing of Steve Dillon, the artist for Preacher. So anyway, check that out. Yeah, he passed away there, I think about a week or so after Comic-Con, after the Comic-Con he went to. Yeah, he passed away. And get this, I just heard this on another podcast, because I didn't know what he passed away from. Fucking appendicitis, dude. He was his stomach was hurting, and I assume he didn't go to the doctor. He just one of the guys was saying, well, yeah, but my stomach was hurting there, and I thought I had the flu, so I was staying home, and it never went away. And then finally, I went to the doctor and realized it was appendicitis. So apparently, that's what he passed away from. That's some crazy shit. He's pretty young. I mean, I think he was like 50. So that's not up there. But anyway, that's all I got. You can follow me at StiznarKey on Twitter. Yeah, thanks for having me. I know I'm the third permanent chair here, and I've kind of, I really enjoy being here on the Metal Hammer of Doom. I learned something new. I love talking this album. This was a lot of fun. It was a great new experience for me. Wouldn't want to talk about it with anybody else other than the Metal Coop himself. So Metal Coop, man, thank you very much.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. A lot of fun. In terms of plugs, I don't know what we're doing next week, but we'll be here Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern Time. Metal Hammer of Doom. Sentai Rider Podcast. Find us at Facebook, facebook.com/Sentai Rider Podcast. It is SENTAIRIDER podcast. Tokusatsu. We do it eventually. Stay tuned. Beyond that, WTMnet.com, Wrestling to the Max. My buddy Sean Garmer, he hosts our podcast because he's a really, really nice fella. Deserves all the fucking accolades. Love him to death. Yeah, go visit him, Wrestling to the Max. Good podcast. But that's it for me. I'm done.
All right, now, the next thing is, here it is. Just got to find the outro. Okay, send us out, man.
All right, so for Stiznarkey himself, Mr. Jesse Starcher, this has been the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper, with our presentation of Arctic Thunder by Darkthrone. So until next week, I'll see you again. Be well, be safe, behave, keep the metal alive.
Hi, Benny Jr. here with Bartow Ford. On any purchase, it's important that you buy from someone you trust. When buying a pre-owned vehicle, it's imperative that you buy from a dealership with a great reputation. At Bartow Ford, every vehicle on our lot is meticulously inspected and only the best is sold. Our high volume allows us to be picky, and you should be too. So don't go the wrong way on your next pre-owned purchase. If you can't visit us right away, visit us and see our inventory online at bartowford.com. We're different and we prove it.
Recovering from a slip and fall accident takes time. But at Farah and Farah, we take care of everything you need and stay focused on your case around the clock. So you have more time to focus on getting back to your health, getting back to your family, and getting back to your life. Farah and Farah, here to make it easy. Tampa.